You won't believe how these habits secretly change everything. Right now, your life is being shaped by tiny, almost invisible habits. So boring, so plain, that most people overlook them. But these important boring habits are the real reason some people quietly outpace everyone else. Imagine starting your day not with a motivational quote, a sugar rush, or a viral hack, but with something so basic, so reliably mundane, that it flips everything you thought you knew about success upside down. Stick around, because what you're about to hear may just change the way you live the next 10 years of your life. Before I dive in, make sure you subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project and ring that notification bell. This channel is dedicated to real, unfiltered self-growth. The stuff you won't find in a typical Instagram reel. If you value simple strategies that actually work, you'll want to be part of the community. Now, let's get into it. Let's paint the picture. You wake up, and the first thing your hand does isn't to reach for meaning or purpose. It reaches for your phone. You scroll through a highlight reel of other people's success, wealth, beauty, adventure, all before your feet have even touched the floor. Within 60 seconds, your day already feels like a race you've lost before you started. This is the modern trap. The world demands you take in more, react more, compare more, but move forward less. What separates the quietly successful from the rest isn't luck, opportunity, or genius. It's the daily foundation of important, boring habits. The stuff that seems simple to the point of stupidity. Drinking a glass of water, making your bed, taking a walk after lunch, shutting off screens before bed. These aren't groundbreaking or glamorous steps, but they are, without question, the ones quietly powering transformation behind the scenes. Let's start with how you begin your day. There's power in the unremarkable. You rise, grab water, a habit so basic you almost dismiss it. But water doesn't just hydrate, it signals to your brain, we're alive, we're taking care. Next, you do the simplest task, make your bed. Not because you want to appear neat, but because it's a victory before breakfast. It's proof to yourself that real improvement starts by stabilizing what's already here. You haven't added new chaos, you've reinforced calm. The boring act becomes a silent vote for your future self. Then comes the midday crash. Most people eat lunch and let their energy nosedive. Instead of surrendering to fatigue, you reclaim the afternoon with a modest, ordinary walk. 10 minutes. No step tracking, no podcasts blaring, just you. Noticing the clouds, listening to your shoes. You reset, not with intensity, but quietly. These important boring habits don't look flashy, but they're cumulative, like drops filling a bucket. Every evening, you get the chance to revolt against the digital rave. Instead of scrolling until 2 a.m., you read one real page from a real book. The world calls it boring. You discover it's medicinal. The miracle is slow. Your thoughts settle, your sleep deepens, and just like that, another day is won by what looks like inaction. Before we keep going, if you're resonating with these building blocks, the unsexy, unspoken routines that construct real change, give this video a like and drop a comment with the most boring habit that's making your life better. Your story might be the spark for someone else beginning this journey. Week after week, something shifts. You notice that as you keep stacking these important boring habits, they start to reinforce each other. Drink water, your body wakes up, so you crave better food. You plan meals with basic ingredients, eggs, rice, beans, veggies from the freezer. Nothing worthy of a culinary magazine, but everything your body actually needs. You save not just money, but the mental tax of decision fatigue. You get cleaner, sharper, more consistent. People around you start to notice, even if they can't put their finger on what's changed. You aren't doing anything stunning, yet every area of your life feels lighter, more manageable. It's not motivation carrying you forward, but maintenance. See, motivation burns out, but maintenance, these reliable routines, keep the engine running forever. Now let's talk about the overlooked pillar, discipline. Most people think discipline is punishment. Long, miserable hours of grinding, desperate willpower, endless inner negotiation. The reality? Discipline is peace. True discipline is the end of exhausting debates with yourself. It's having a reliable sleep time, not to torture yourself, but to save energy for what matters. It's automating breakfast, not to become boring, but to protect your focus for big things. Excitement fades fast. Rhythm lasts forever. And rhythm only comes from these important, boring habits. And when you apply these habits to money, the real magic happens. You start tracking your spending, not as a punishment, but as a mirror. Suddenly, every dollar you spend tells a story. You spot patterns: impulse, escape, comfort, boredom. When you reflect on these, guilt gives way to understanding, and understanding leads to change. You begin to spend only on what matters, aligning your money with your true values. This new awareness leaks into everything. You spot where your time is wasted, your focus stolen, your energy drained. Small, boring acts of self-inventory end up shifting your entire mindset. Around 6 minutes in, I just want to gently remind you, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to tap the notification bell so you don't miss more practical, honest growth content like this. Back to it. When you simplify your nutrition, you simplify your life. Eating clean isn't about spending on overpriced superfoods. It's about mastering minimalism. Those rice bowls and homemade eggs fuel your growth and tell your subconscious, I'm in control. Every time you cook, you're investing in both health and discipline. These important, boring habits multiply. They're not about depriving, they're about gaining sovereignty over your choices. Your environment is quietly dictating your performance too. A quick 10-minute tidy up every evening doesn't look like a transformation montage, but over time, it reshapes your brain. You clear space, you clear thought, you clear doubt. When you command your space, you regain command of your mind. The boring, repeated act of putting things back in order grants you mental freedom. Even more crucial, your relationships. Here's where important, boring habits become radical. You start saying no. Just one drink out on Friday, you skip it. The group chat tries to guilt trip you, you're unmoved. Not because you don't care, but because your idea of fun has evolved. Fun is waking up clear-headed, owning your mornings, chasing growth. You find out who supports the new you and who liked the old complacent version. No isn't rejection, it's redirection. And it's the mark that you're quietly creating new standards. Ultimately, all these important, boring habits point to one core transformation. You become someone who keeps promises to themselves. That's the secret. Every glass of water, every made bed, every walk or home-cooked meal, they're all evidence that you're becoming reliable, not just to others, but to yourself. You don't need a crowd applauding your habit stacking. The change is internal, lasting, and unshakable. If you found this shift in thinking valuable, away from temporary excitement and toward the foundation of the important, boring habits, explore the rest of our videos. There's more on building systems, mindsets, and practical routines that work in real life. And if you haven't, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, because the next breakthrough could be in the details you overlooked today. See you in the next one.